Every great creative work stands on the shoulders of giants. Welcome to RetroInspection, where we examine and find out where the things we love today came from.
Yeah.
And I think it was published as Under the Martian Sky or Under the Moons of Mars. I think that was
Yeah. In its original, before they released it as a book, when it was serialized in all story. Yes.
And this is 1911, 1912.
Yep.
And he comes across this idea, and of course he said, "Oh, I never read any H.G. Wells or any of this stuff," but there are other things he read, and at the time there was this not I don't want to say craze, but there was this kind of astronomy quackery that was going around, started by Percival Lowell, who was a self-made astronomer and founded the Lowell Observatory up in Flagstaff, Arizona. But he had read or had seen the theories that an Italian astronomer, Schiaparelli, I think his name was, um, who was trying to describe the surface of Mars. And you got to realize that these people were looking at Mars with a resolution that, say, we would probably have looking at, in 1997 at GIFs about this size, and so they really couldn't see, but they were seeing these kind of heavy cross marks on Mars and these deep furrows, and they thought that this was like evidence of a civilization that had populated Mars. And because there were no oceans, they figured Mars was dead and that this was the only thing that remained of the life that had once been on Mars. And so Lowell picked this up. He kind of popularized it in America. It became kind of I don't want to say cause celeb, but it became it became an idea in the popular culture that Mars had some sort of civilization that had died out.
Yeah.
And then H.G. Wells wrote, I believe, when was Wells? 1906?
Oh boy.
For War of the Worlds?
Oh, War of the somewhere. I can't remember.
I think it was before A Princess of Mars, but he wrote that because he also was thinking about this civilization on Mars that had died out and maybe needed a new planet to conquer. And there's Earth right here. Here's Earth.
Here we are.
But Burroughs had this idea right in the forefront of his mind because it was people were talking about it. So he writes these things down, presents All Story magazine with this idea. They, after some wrangling, they come to a conclusion. They're going to serialize it. He later compiles all those into a novel. And somehow, and it's unsurprising because back in 1912, people were likely not thinking about popular intellectual property and how to monetize it in the way that we do today. I think he lost the rights to it in the early days, and that kind of stuck in his mind. So what happened with that, he did not let happen with his most famous work, which was Tarzan.
Yeah.
But in A Princess of Mars, and I know we want to get this out of the way as quickly as we can, and we might, when we read Tarzan, we might revisit this idea. Well, I guess we should just get right into the synopsis, and then we'll go into that, because the ideas that Burroughs espoused are writ in boldface in this book.
Like, subscribe, repost, share everywhere. To see what else we're up to, visit xynobooks.com, xenobooks.com.